Okay, so once you have all of the necessary information, you will want to go to your calculator. And your first thing you have to do is select the county the farm is physically located, and enter some information about the farm and the farm number so that you can remember what farm you're working on. You can find the farm number up here at the top and some information about the farm. You may want to look at operator names, farms associated with the operator, or owners in order to know which farm you're dealing with, or the description also may help you identify each farm. So once you know which farm you're looking at in this report, you want to maybe enter some information here to make it easier for you to think about that farm. The next step is entering your farm base acres for this specific farm. And you can find that right here. I have already copied these numbers into the form, or into the Excel. Look at corn. Base acres are 51.3 and PLC yield is 154. And you can see that those numbers are entered there like that. For soybeans, we have 17.1 here and 31 bushel an acre, which I took from right here. And for wheat here, it says that there's 3.3 base acres and 38 bushel an acre for the yield, which is the same thing that I have already copied in here. Now, I'm going to ask you to just ignore this part for now and just scroll down to this step 3, entering your actual farm yields. And so here you would want to reflect whatever you have been doing in your farm since 2013 with as close to the actual yield as you can find. So in this example, this farmer grew corn in 2013 and he did some wheat as well. And in 2014, he did soybeans and some wheat. And in 2015, he did corn and some wheat. In 16, he did beans and some wheat, and so forth. Once you get to 2019, you may or may not know your yield yet. So enter your best estimation and enter the acres that you grew of that crop. And same thing here for 2020. If you're planning on planting beans and wheat, please make your best estimation here and make your best estimation of how many acres you would be growing for each of the commodities. Here, I want to add how many acres I may have done of wheat. So I'm just going to say that I had 50 acres of wheat. If you did not grow the corn, use blank. Do not use 0. So make sure you use the delete button to make this just be empty. Nothing else than empty. As you can see here, it doesn't say 0. It doesn't say anything. Otherwise, your averages will be messed up. Okay, once you've done that, we are almost done. This is average county yields, known or expected county yields. If you don't have any particular information about how your county is doing, or if you don't have any specific forecast about how your county is going to do next year, just leave it as it is. Same thing with projected prices. These are good estimations by a professor at MSU, Dr. Hilker, the USDA Outlook, and a lot of other people that know what they are talking about when they are talking prices. So I would just leave this alone. And then once you scroll through all of that, you come down to this decision. The first decision is whether to update those PLC yields or not. These yields here, you could update them this time, but the way they are calculated, it may or may not be convenient for you to do that. So this is going to tell you whether to do that or not. So you have to look at this number and click here and unclick. And wherever there is a higher number, that's what you want to do. In this case, for corn, you do not want to update that yield. So you just leave that as it is. For soybeans, you get a higher number if you don't update that yield. So you're also going to leave it alone. And for wheat, it looks like you get a higher yield if you update that yield. So you will want to update your yield with FSA. That is not due until September, so they may not want you to sign the contract for that now, but just know that you are going to want to do that before September. And the reason is if you look at this number change and then you look at this number, how it changes, you will notice that this number down here is going to be higher when you pick the higher number. So watch. Then that goes down here at the bottom. If I click it again, it goes up. So basically what that means is your PLC yield will determine your payment, and you want your payment to be as high as possible. So please remember to do that. Now, the second decision is which program to sign up for. And from the looks of this, for corn, your best paying program is PLC. You wouldn't get anything if you signed up for ARC County. And by the looks of this, the third program, that's ARC IC, would not pay anything. So for corn, this farm would want to pick PLC. And they would also want to pick PLC for wheat. Same logic. It's all red here. So wheat wouldn't pay anything if they signed up for PLC. And since ARC IC is red here, they wouldn't want to sign up for ARC IC for wheat either. Actually, the way it works is if you sign up for ARC IC, you sign up for ARC IC for the whole farm. That's why the red is here and not over here for ARC IC. Whereas if ARC IC does not trigger a payment, then you could sign up for PLC for some of your crops and for ARC County for other ones if that works best for you. So what's going on with soybeans? It looks like PLC or ARC County, none of them would trigger a payment. So in this farm, there is soybean base. So you still can sign up for a program, even if you're not going to grow soybeans, and you could still get a payment. But which program you should sign up for. And so for that, you can come back up here and ask yourself, what can I tweak a little bit, or what could happen? Could the county yield drop? Could the price drop? What could drop more? Could they both drop at the same time? And so whatever you feel that could happen, you could reflect here. For example, I can say, well, I think county yield maybe, suppose the county yield will be down by like 14%. See how these numbers change. We've made them 86% of what they used to be. If I go down, then that changes things. That makes soybeans trigger a payment with ARC County, and wheat that had the best paying option through PLC before now triggers a payment through ARC County, because we have decreased the wheat yield for that county by clicking this button here. I'm going to restore them. And so that's going to make it PLC the best for wheat and for corn, but we're not getting a payment for soybeans. Another thing I could do is say, okay, what if soybean yield goes down by 10%? That is configured such that then this will also drop by 10%. But I want to say that wheat yield will be the same, that soybean yield may drop by 10% only. If I scroll down, I still don't see anything triggering for soybeans. But what if also price dropped a little bit? Apart from yield, I could have a 10% drop in price, and then that triggers a payment for soybeans through ARC County. So you can play around with these numbers and ask yourself, well, can price really drop like a 10%? I don't know, maybe it can drop by a 5%. Well, I still get a payment through ARC County here. But what if price doesn't drop and we only get a really bad yield, well, then ARC County. But if yield stays the same as it is supposed to be and price drops like by 30%, then you would get a payment through this PLC program. So that's how this works. Finally, this table here, before I go on to that table, this would be the payment per base acre, and this would be the payment per base acre per year. And this would be split by year because these numbers are total for 2019 and 20 combined. So if you want to see which year payments would come from, you can see that here. So basically, this is the explanation about how to choose your program for your farm through the Farm Bill. I hope it's useful. If you have questions, give us a call. For me, I cover West Central Michigan, and you can find me by going to bit.ly/save-a-time, bit/save-a-time all together and in lowercase. And I'm sure you can get a hold of your local extension educator if you are far from me. So thank you for watching. Bye.